Hey everybody, welcome back. Jim here, full of holiday cheer right now, or that could be the booze, either or, but I'm pretty happy today because we're coming up on Christmas. Actually, this video I'm going to be putting up on Christmas, but as of this shooting, it's a couple of days to Christmas, so I'm feeling extra festive and wanted to sit down and make a video. I've got myself some hot chocolate in here, and this tumbler I actually won at a Crane game shop in Akihabara. This is a Shichisei no Subaru tumbler. I don't know what Shichisei no Subaru is, but it was a tumbler I got, and I think it only took me 2 tries. So this cost me 200 yen, and pretty damn sweet tumbler. It's keeping my cocoa nice and hot. Oh, that's good cocoa. Love some badass cocoa on a nice cold winter's night. So yeah, Christmassy stuff. I am wearing my best Christmas outfit today, as you can see. This hat looks an awfully lot like the hat worn by Tiny Tim. And this shirt, I don't actually have any Christmas shirts or sweaters. So I thought The Shining might be a good substitute. There's a lot of snow in that movie, and Jack Nicholson does end up freezing to death at the end, which I always thought was kind of funny. So yeah, Merry Christmas! Right on! Today I'm going to talk about some games. I got a stack of games right here. These are all games that give me like a Christmas feeling on a couple of reasons. These games, well, with one exception, these are all games I played at Christmas. I got them at Christmas, and I just associate them with really positive Christmas memories. And also, I either like to play them on or around Christmas, or they just give me that super vibe, the nostalgic feels, if you will. So let's go ahead and dive into my stack of games that only one of them is Christmas themed, but they all sort of mean Christmas to me. The first one, and this one I think a lot of people would maybe also associate this with this time of year. It's Super Mario World. And specifically, I got my copy of Super Mario World on Christmas Day in 1993. Me, my brother, and my sister. You gotta understand that all leading up to that Christmas, this commercial was running during Saturday morning cartoons. Like, every Saturday it would air at least a half a dozen times, but there was a commercial that they had sort of a promotion going on that year where if you bought a Super Nintendo, it came packaged with Super Mario World, and it had something in it that you could mail in and include like $5 or something like that. And then you would be mailed back a copy of Super Mario All-Stars. So I saw this commercial a million, jillion, however many times, and was super psyched because me and my brother and my sister, we were pretty sure we were going to get a Super Nintendo that Christmas. We didn't have any consoles in the house. Our Nintendo had actually been absconded with. Our Nintendo, our NES, had been stolen like earlier that year, which we were all really heartbroken about. My parents not so much, but me, my brother, and my sister. So we were pretty certain we were going to get a Super Nintendo, and when we saw that Super Nintendo shaped box conspicuously, we were like, yes, awesome. So just all that anticipation every Saturday morning, every morning really, seeing that commercial and just knowing that that thing was under the tree. And then when we finally got to open up our Super Nintendo and pull out our copy of Super Mario World, I mean, we spent all day and all night playing that game, and many days and nights to come. Me, my brother, and my sister, we absolutely adored Super Mario World, and I still do. Oddly enough, my parents, I think they just, either they or we or somebody just threw the box away immediately, so we never did turn in that rebate thing and get our copy of Mario All-Stars, unfortunately. But we did play the ever-living hell out of Super Mario World that Christmas, and now, I mean, pretty much any time I can bust this game out, and I'll just lose hours in it. I'll just play it all the way through. But especially around Christmas time, I like to pop this baby in and play it for a couple hours, and it brings me back to 1993, being with my brother and my sister and getting our Super Nintendo for Christmas. That was an awesome year for Christmas at the Fontenot residence. This is my last name, by the way, in case anyone didn't know. Alright, next up, this game, I actually didn't play until like several years ago, but now I play it every Christmas because I have to. This is Nights into Dreams, or Christmas Nights into Dreams. I had played Nights before and loved it. I went to a friend's house who had a copy of Nights, and he had the 3D controller. And I thought it was a really cool game. And I knew that there was a Christmas Nights, but I had never played it. When I finally picked this up for like $1 eventually, I just figured like, okay, cool, like a little thing. I didn't really realize like how, I don't know, like when I play this game I get like extra festive. Like it's super, super Christmassy. I love the music and the visuals, and the theme is that the two kids, they're having dreams about Christmas night, and so when they go into the dream world, everything is Christmassy. But it's awesome. I mean, it's super short. It's, you know, just like a couple of levels, and then some bonus things you can unlock. You can unlock artwork, and some karaoke and songs to listen to, and things like that. So it's not a huge game, but it's one that not a Christmas has gone by since I've purchased this that I haven't played Christmas Nights. It's awesome. If you've never played Christmas Nights before on Christmas, I would suggest that you do. It's got to be super cheap. It's like $5 at the most. If you have a Saturn, just pick it up and play it. You might be surprised at how much it gets you into the Christmas mood, but Christmas Nights is an awesome game to play on Christmas. This next game, really nostalgic game in general, but specifically for Christmas, again, when I received it in, I believe, 1998. But this is Final Fantasy VII. And the thing about Final Fantasy VII is, I, like a lot of other people, was super hyped. But for me, I had only recently begun playing RPGs. My friend Matt, him and his older brother were really into RPGs, so they had the previous couple of Final Fantasies, and they had Chrono Trigger and a bunch of others. And that was how I got introduced to RPGs. And when Final Fantasy VII was coming out, so my friend Matt, he was pretty much everything that I ever had, like video games wise. He always had like a year before me or so, and he had this knack for getting all of his Christmas gifts early. He would basically like just sort of pester his mom and kind of haggle with her. And basically the deal was, you know, if you give me my gifts now, when Christmas rolls around, I don't need anything. He just wanted it as soon as possible. He couldn't wait. He was totally impatient, and he did this like pretty much every Christmas that I knew him. And this was one of those times. And so he would always end up getting his Christmas gifts in either like late November or early December. And so essentially, I would go to his house and play the games that he got for Christmas like a month early, and then that would build anticipation in me for, oh, what I might be getting for Christmas. And this was one of those games. I went to his house, and he had Final Fantasy VII, and he had the strategy guide with it, and yeah, his mom had given in and given it to him early, and we sat there playing Final Fantasy VII, like, I don't know, to hell and back. Like, I just sat there with him. I would go over to his house pretty much every day, and we were just playing Final Fantasy VII that entire time, and I was just like pestering my parents until their ears gushed with blood that I could get a copy of Final Fantasy VII. And eventually I did, and played it as much as anyone ever has. I mean, me and all my friends, you know, the whole goal was to like max out all the characters, get everyone to level 99, and then just start a new game. And so I probably played through this game at least 3 or 4 times in the span of a year. So Final Fantasy VII, another game that I equate with Christmas time. Typically I can just pop this in, and if I have a save file, I'll just pick my save file up wherever I was and just go around and have some fun and play for several hours. But Final Fantasy VII, again, playing the hell out of it leading up to Christmas and just anticipating having my own copy. Amazing game. We'll never get tired of that. This next game, and I've talked about this before as it relates to Christmas, but Shenmue. Oh boy, Shenmue. And this is a game that has Christmassy stuff in it. You can actually, you know, play the game into Christmas in game time, and, you know, enjoy a little bit of in-game Christmas stuff. And there are like Christmas decorations all around, you know, Yokosuka, and there's even a Santa walking around. So there's Christmassy things about this game. But this was another game that, again, my friend Matt, the year that he had gotten his Dreamcast, he got the really cool, like, black Sega Sports model, and he had gotten Jet Grind Radio and Shenmue, and I got to go to his house and play on his Dreamcast before I got my own, like a month later or so, and just being like, I don't know, blown away by Jet Grind Radio, which was incredibly fun, but being like super intrigued by Shenmue, and just like loving the way it looked and played, and it was different at the time from anything I'd ever played, so I was really interested in it. Plus, it gave you this kind of realistic look, I mean realistic in air quotes, realistic look at kind of like, you know, mid-80s Japan. Like, everything I'd ever seen was just like anime and stuff, all this like really romanticized stuff. This was kind of like a more realistic look at like a Japanese town, which I wasn't really familiar with at the time, so I thought that was very cool about it. So when Christmas rolled around, my awesome parents, who sold their satellite dish for like $300 to get digital cable, and so they had the money to get me a Dreamcast, so I'm like eternally grateful to them. Got my Dreamcast, and I got my copy of Tokyo Extreme Racer, because I guess my mom could not find a copy of Shenmue anywhere, so I was like, well, bummer, but no big deal. So I actually really enjoyed Tokyo Extreme Racer, but either the next day or 2 days later, I got my dad to drive me to a nearby town where there was a Funko Land, and I turned in a whole heap of games. Super Nintendo games, PlayStation games, controllers. I mean, I turned in pretty much everything I could bear to part with, and with that money, I got my own copy of Shenmue, and another game, and an action figure, actually. But once I had Shenmue, that was it. That was really all I wanted to do with my time for the longest time. And so, for the rest of that holiday season, and just, I mean, really for the rest of my life, playing this game, enjoying it, loving it. And it's another one that, around Christmas time, I can just pop the game in. If I have a save file, just start from wherever I am and just go around and have fun in the game, or just start a new game. But Shenmue, yes, a game that has a lot of ties to Christmas for me, and one I love to play every year around Christmas. And before I get to this last game, Daddy needs a little bit of his cocoa. Oh yeah, that's Grandpa's cough medicine, alright. Very good. What the, Van Houten. That's what this is. Van Houten hot chocolate, for anybody who gives a shit. I'm plugging the chocolate now. This chocolate, oh, it makes me think of Christmas. Van Houten, I got this out of a vending machine in a can and just dumped it into my tumbler. But it's pretty goddamn good. Should I be swearing on Christmas? I don't know. You know, it feels like it. That's fun, right? Swearing on Christmas? I don't know. Anyway, this last game. So, a little tidbit about my family. I have 5 siblings. I have 2 brothers and 3 sisters. And when I was a kid, like a small child, and all 6 kids were at home, anyone with a big family knows this. The more people who are in the house, the less there is to go around. So, the less food there is to go around, the less space you have to yourself, the less, you know, each individual person gets on Christmas and stuff like that. When I was like maybe 6 years old or so, because I'm the youngest of the 6, by the way, my dad sort of made a career change and things started to turn around for us a little bit in the finances department. Plus, some of the older ones started to move out. So like I said, when we got our Super Nintendo, it was just me and my sister and my brother. The other 3 had already moved out by then, so things were getting better. By the time, I want to say I was 15 years old, I was the last kid at home. So, like, my parents were making, like, way better money than they did when I was a little kid. and I was the only kid they had left at the house. So when Christmas rolled around, it was like, okay, you know, what do you want? And this particular year, when I was 17 years old, I didn't really want anything, really. Like, I was pretty content. I'd actually, like, had a job, so I had some of my own money, so I was just buying the things I wanted whenever I wanted them. So when my mom was like, what would you like for Christmas? I just, off the top of my head, even though I didn't really want one, for whatever reason, I was just like, you know, a GameCube, why not? And so she was like, alright. So she got me a GameCube and a copy of Smash Brothers. And the next day, my friend Brandon came over, and we were sitting there with my GameCube, playing some Smash Brothers, having a great time. And then, you know, I realized we both had jobs at that point, so I was just like, hey, how much money do you have on you? And he had like 25, 30 bucks, and I did too. And I was like, why don't we pull our money together, walk over to the Walmart nearby, and buy a copy of Mario Kart Double Dash. I was like, let's go buy Mario Kart. And I think the two of us, we hadn't played one, well, since Mario Kart 64, but, you know, we both really enjoyed Mario Kart 64. That was something that was like a big multiplayer game back in the day. You get everyone around and you go play GoldenEye and Mario Kart. So just sitting there with him and being like, hey, let's pull our money, go buy Mario Kart, and, you know, it'll be the best day after Christmas ever. And he agreed. So we went and we bought this game, and we brought it home, and we started playing it together, and it was just like, it was so incredibly fun. Like, that was just one of those things where it was like, I didn't really want anything from anyone that year, and like I got this with, you know, partially with my own money, and this was like the real, I think, payoff. That Christmas was just being able to sit and play a Mario Kart game with my friend that we hadn't played a Mario Kart in years at that point. And so Mario Kart Double Dash, and this is also, I mean, it's just one of my favorite Mario Kart games in general, but every time I play this game, it does make me think of that Christmas, and I'm trying to think of what year that was. It might have been 2003. I'm not 100% sure, but that was the year that I didn't really want anything, and just on a whim asked for a GameCube, and then, again on a whim, me and my friend just walked on over to the Walmart and bought this game and had some of the most fun we'd ever had playing video games up until that point. And so Mario Kart Double Dash holds a special place in my heart. I haven't seen my good friend in quite a long time. Yeah, I would say about that time when we were 17, it was shortly after that he moved away, and it became a very rare and special occasion that we could get together and hang out. So this game, Mario Kart Double Dash, aside from just being an awesome game, means a lot to me. It has a lot of sentimental value. Now, obviously, this isn't the copy I had as a kid. I mean, that's in storage back in the States somewhere. But regardless, when I play this game, I get that same feeling again. It feels like Christmas. Anytime I play this game, I can play it in July, and it feels like Christmas. So Mario Kart Double Dash, a lot of sentimental value to me. And a great game to play around Christmas. And that's it. Those are 5 games, and I feel like I talked a lot today. But these are all games that, for one reason or another, evoke very Christmassy holiday feelings in me. And I can play them anytime, but especially around Christmas, they just have a special kind of feeling. Just makes them that much more enjoyable. The time you're playing them makes the game just that much better. And as I finish off my cocoa, that's it. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope that you enjoyed listening to me ramble on about, you know, random stack of video games here. I would really like to hear down in the comments, what are some games that you associate with Christmas? Whether you got it on a Christmas day as a kid, or just something you played around Christmas. What games do you play when you want to feel extra festive? And what really brings about that kind of like nostalgic Christmas feeling for you? I'd like to know. So put that down in the comments. And thank you everybody for, it was a pretty awesome year for me on, just in general, but on YouTube as well. Had a lot of fun this year, and yeah, I owe a lot of that to the people that actually watch my videos and sort of keep me motivated to keep making more. So thank you everybody for watching this entire past year. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for liking and subscribing and commenting. All those awesome things. And until next time, happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, solstice, etc., etc. And until next time, take care. I will see you then. Goodbye.